What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another SlabStox Sundays episode. My name is Aaron, joined by Nate. Every Sunday, we come here on YouTube Live, join all of you, our amazing community members, to talk about sports, to talk about cars, to talk about collecting, and look at some different items ending here on the PWCC Weekly Auction. And to kick off today's episode, Nate, there has been some crazy things going on in sports this weekend. Today alone, we had Ohtani almost hitting the Brewers' top of the stadium. We had Steph Curry going for 50 in a Game 7 elimination game, the most points in Game 7 in NBA history. And Kevon Looney, 15 points and 20 rebounds, as Nate's about to have a massive sneeze. I got him.
We're good, I think. It's just like, when you have a sneeze just sitting there?
Yeah. And then, so you got the Curry, the master Curry performance. The Heat once again came back down 10 to win another game. And right now happening is the start of overtime for the Bruins and Panthers. And it's actually 6 minutes into the overtime period, 3-3. The Panthers tied up with 1 minute left to go in the game. I'm going to make a statement here, and I'd have to study a lot more to make this statement factual. But I feel like if this were to happen, just based on what happened this season for the Brewers, this would be the biggest upset in modern playoff history, any sport. You're talking about the team that had the most wins, best record, most points of all time in their single sport ever, getting upset potentially in the first round at home in 7 games.
So if they lose, and the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup last year.
Yep, and they could lose tonight. You're literally talking about 2 of the favorites out within the first round. The Bruins lost 1 in every 7 games. 1 in every 7 games during the regular season, and they're about to potentially lose 4 and 7 in the opening series against the Florida Panthers from Miami.
Oof.
Pretty brutal.
That's tough.
It is. Now, the other thing we have going on tonight, other than just looking at some items here, is we will be bringing on in the next few minutes Shane, Indie card collector, and I cannot wait to bring him on to talk to you all. So I'll introduce him here in a little bit. Before that, I want to point out a couple comments here from the audience. Tom says, "Good evening, friends and fellow cardboard enthusiasts, collectors, and connoisseurs." Tom, that is quite the opening. Thanks for being here. Silky Met, yes, the Bruins game is insane. Let's see who wins. 1 goal ends it, sudden death. You know how it goes in hockey. And Zips Cards says, "My gold Pedri, 10-10 is ending tonight." Well, good luck to you, Zips Cards. We wish you luck on that card. If anyone else has a comments to share throughout tonight's episode, please feel free to throw them in there. But tonight we've got a great guest coming on. He goes by the name of Shane, and I'm bringing him in right now. Shane from Indianapolis, how are you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. I really appreciate you taking the time to come by. I see you rocking the Indy Card Exchange sweatshirt right now.
Yeah, we had a great day today. Andy and the team did our first kids club event, and had I think over 300 kids that showed up. Just a phenomenal event that Indy Card Exchange did. Proud to be affiliated with those guys. And I think you know Andy quite well, Aaron. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the Midwest Monster in June as well.
I'm super pumped about that. We will be coming back for our second Midwest Monster. I know. The Panthers just knocked out the Bruins, by the way. So that massive upset did just happen. That is insane. I just cannot believe that is worse than the Bucks by far. But getting back to what Shane was talking about, yes, we will be coming to Midwest Monster. That's into your homeland. That was one of my favorite shows last year when we did that. So I'm super excited. This year we'll be setting up 3 tables, sponsoring the show again. It'll be a great time. And talk to us about that kids event for a second. What was that like today?
It was just incredible. It's a free service that Indy Card Exchange does, and they do it for all the kids around Indianapolis. And Andy had some great partnerships with some local businesses, and they came into a vineyard, which was nice for the parents. They could kind of hang out and do their thing. And they got a lot of donations from their supporters and Panini, and was able to raffle off, I think, 45 items for free. Giannis autographed jersey, which I know you guys can appreciate. Wow. That was one of the giveaways. And it was all free for all of their kids members. So just a phenomenal event that Andy and his team put on. And I was so proud to be a part of it. And yeah. So if you're in the Indianapolis area and you're watching, hit up Indy Card Exchange and get a part of that kids club.
I agree. That is one of the best shops in the country, no doubt about it. I've been there, I think twice now, once or twice, and it's an excellent place. But even more so, Andy is an excellent individual. I've known him for a few years now. Interviewed him really early on for Jordan Week when the Last Dance came out so long ago now. He's got one of the best Jordan collections that there is. Really, really crazy stuff. So Shane, why don't you just introduce yourself and what you collect and what you're about in the hobby to start off, and then we'll walk through a card in the auction, ask you some more questions too.
Sure. Yeah. So Shane Walls, I'm indie card collector on Instagram. I've been doing this for a long time. I think a lot of people are surprised when I tell people I'm 48 years old. Started collecting in the mid 80s with my dad. We were big into the 84, 85 Donruss sets. We were always chasing Darryl Strawberry, which was my favorite player as a kid, and trying to put those sets together, and it kind of, as I got older, I discovered eBay back in the early 2000s and started collecting again. And, as I get older, I think one of the big things that I've seen is since COVID hit, a lot of people have turned this into a business. And I think one of the things that I really want to stick to is it's a hobby. For me, it's always been a hobby as a kid, and, kind of getting back to the roots of collecting and, making it, we'll talk about my self-care collecting here in a minute, just kind of making it a little more healthy than what it has been. There's been a lot of toxicity over the past year going on within our hobby, and, just kind of trying to get that healthy lifestyle. We got a bad stereotype, guys. You ever hear people say, hey, when you go to the National, make sure you wear deodorant. There's a lot of big guys walking around, they're stinky. Hey, let's get healthy out there. As I get older, I'm approaching 50. It's like I want to see my grandkids, and I want to be a healthy individual, not only from that standpoint, but mentally. One of the big things I talked about, and me and Andy, we do a live show every Wednesday, 6:00, called Once Upon a Wednesday. One of our topics was being addicted in the hobby. And that's, so when I talk about being, healthy, that's not only just physically, that's mentally, and being able to know when to say when and what your limits are with what you're spending. And I kind of think that's something that's not talked about enough in this hobby, and something that I really would like to kind of champion as I continue to, I don't want to call myself an influencer, but as I'm on Instagram and kind of sharing what I see within the hobby.
Love it. Love it. Thanks for sharing that to start here. Before talking about one of these cards here, I just want to ask you really quickly about your collecting itself, because I feel like when you go in on something, you go in on something, my man. I've seen you go from, done some soccer, done some F1, done some Marvel, I think at a time maybe, or I'm wrong on that. Can't remember exactly, but tell me about like how you see something and want to collect it. How does that work for you?
I'm always trying to go where the puck isn't. I know you guys were just talking about hockey, right? I think for me right now, it's kind of no secret. I've shared a lot of this on Instagram. Vintage soccer is just a completely untapped market. I'm looking at, from the early 1900s, the 1920s, the 1930s. You look at pop reports, none of this stuff has ever been graded. You can never find it. You got awards named after players that sell for $200 from the 1930s. I mean, it blows my mind. And that's kind of the approach I took when I got into soccer. Aaron, I think me and you were one of the, there was a handful of us. I won't say it was just us two, but there was a handful of us that really started this in 2018, 2019. And we kind of saw where there was an untapped market. And that's kind of what I always try to do. I try to get ahead of the game, and did the same thing with Marvel, F1. And, that's kind of where I'm at right now with soccer, and just really attacking the vintage market.
Love it. Okay. So, I saw a couple of your story posts in the last few weeks. You're like, oh, picked up this, whatever it is. I'm not fluent in the vintage soccer market at all. But you picked up some cool things. But then I said, hey, Shane, send me 3 things you want to talk about tonight in the PWCC Weekly Auction. And this guy sends me a Kevin Durant card and also a couple others. But why do you want to talk about KD here?
Well, until yesterday, and they lose pretty embarrassingly. Man, you just don't see a PSA 10 of that card ever pop up, right? I kind of looked on Card Ladder, which I love Card Ladder. I use them. And it looks like the last time we saw a PSA 10 sold, what was that? October 22nd of 2019. I mean, it's been a long time. We've seen 9.5s pop up, but for a PSA 10 to pop up and it's been that long, that kind of piqued my interest. And, I don't count the Phoenix Suns out yet. I still think they are, they're a good shot. They got a good chance. Although my son, Cole, if you're watching, I know he's a Denver fan. He wouldn't like what I just said right there. But man, what a card to see that. What is it? A pop 4? I think that's what I'm seeing on the screen.
Yep. 2007 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor rookie of 99 PSA 10. Quite the card there. Nice color match too for them Supersonics colors.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I chose that card.
Love it. And I want to pop in a comment here from Adam. Of course, Cleveland Soccer Cards, great guy. He says, thoughts on women's soccer? And I think, Shane, I've seen you picking up a couple of the new from the Optic Donruss set. There's a few, they actually put quite a few women in the set this year.
Yeah, I love the women's soccer. Again, another area that I think is completely undervalued. You look at how dominant women's soccer, USA specifically, has been for decades, and to see what they sell compared to men's is just criminal in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going pretty hardcore on all the women's Optic and Donruss color. I got some competition out there, but it's fun, and just seeing what I can do to put some rainbows together.
Love it. Nate, now I heard him talking about the Suns and Nuggets here. What's your take after game 1, man? That depth is looking a little shaky. Nate, what are your thoughts on the Suns Nuggets?
I mean, I'm thinking that the Nuggets have looked good all year. They've looked good for a couple of years, but have been injured. And at some point, if Jokic does win his third championship or third MVP, he needs to win that championship, right? And I think that he probably knows that. And I mean, the Suns are running into a team that needs it, or into a player that needs it. Kevin Durant already has his. Chris Paul's just old, and Devin Booker hasn't won 3 straight MVPs. Also, a little undervalued proponent of that Nuggets team, Christian Brown, stud.
This guy's a Jayhawks fan, Shane, so he's just gonna hype up any bum Jayhawk.
Dude, whoa. Not a bum. Might be the second best Jayhawk in the NBA right now.
I think that just goes to show how bum Jayhawks are in the NBA.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although Badgers stink, so I can't even talk.
Shane, are you a Hoosiers fan?
You know what? I'm a Purdue fan, and I'm going to get a lot of crap for saying that out loud right now. Boiler up, but Purdue, hey, they disappoint me every single year. It's so much fun.
It's got even worse.
It was a new low, though.
This year was brutal. I got a lot of slack from a lot of friends for their choke job.
Well, speaking of choke job, Victor said bigger choke job. The Bruins or the Bucks, and I talked about this earlier in the episode, Victor. But considering the Bruins just lost, it's got to be the Bruins, best record of all time, and you lose in the first round, 7 games on your home ice. That is brutal, man. I could not imagine
a better city than Boston. You know what I'm saying?
They'd throw a massive shade tonight, not holding back. Okay, so that's Kevin Durant. Now you brought up about the self-care collecting. That is the title of the episode. This is a much different topic than we've tackled here recently, Shane. Normally we're talking, as you know, about Bukayo Saka scores a goal. What's his cards doing here? Kevin Durant loses. What's his cards doing here? But this is a much different topic, which I think a lot of people can relate to, and myself included. I've collected cards for over 15 years now. There's definitely different points in my life it's been healthier than others. Some points in my life it's always doing is spending my money on cards that I have $0 and just find any way to get that next Ohtani Heritage rookie wise in college. And at times it paid, I have to say, it paid off well in a lot of regards. Actually many regards, but it does create stress for some people, I think, including myself sometimes, even as someone who interacts so frequently with it and has a good game plan, I think, around it. So talk to us about how you collect and how you keep it all straight, and how you constantly find joy in the hobby when, like you said, there are things that maybe can detract from that sometimes.
Yeah, it's a great question, Aaron. I think for me, I've posted this quite a few times over the years. I always try to break down life into 4 stages. So I always put my faith first, my faith in the Lord and Savior. Faith greater than cards. Then I go family, friends greater than cards. And then I go health greater than cards. Cards is always 4th on my list. It's always number 4. And if I ever see that cards is in that top 3 and taking over one of those top 3 I just talked about, then I know I need to reset myself. And I think that's what's made me so happy in this hobby. I watch a lot of Instagram. I got a lot of great Instagram friends out there. And one thing that I always want to make sure that I do every day is I don't just talk about cards in my stories. It's always something else. even if I motivate one person, I've become great friends with Andrew, your guys, St. Croix cards.
Yeah, he's here tonight.
Mhm.
He's out here.
Yeah, and we share a lot of great stories about running and being healthy. And, at the end of the day, that's more important than owning. I've got a few cards laid out here in case you wanted to see some of my great PWCC wins. That's always going to be more important than having this, Maradona 101 that I'm looking at right here. So, and I think one of the things that has really changed since COVID is just so many people turn this into a business instead of a hobby. And I like to go back to my days of collecting with my dad in the 80s. And that was a hobby. It wasn't about trying to collect a set and sell it. It was about just collecting the set and finishing it, right? Going to the hotel card shows and trying to find card number 80, card 99, and card 165 to complete the set. That is what my memories are with my dad. And that's what made me love the hobby.
That makes me think of going to bowling alley card shows with Nate like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, those are some good card shows.
They were. That's where you're finding the $1 Devontae Graham optic pink hypers back there, 50 cent, whatever they were.
Back when I had to buy every Devontae Graham I crossed, you can't beat it.
No, I know that we'll maybe get to a couple of those other things, but you said one of them Maradona. How are you gonna say that and not show us right now? So come on, show us what you have.
This is probably, man, it was a tough one. You told me to choose one of my favorite PWCC wins, and I'm gonna have to go with Maradona.
Woo! That is awesome.
From Flawless 101. You just don't see the blue ink. It's on card.
Is that Eminence?
It is, yeah.
That's insane.
As you know, Aaron, most of the Eminence is gold ink. And
black card.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one's up there. I got to show number 2. Number 2 is probably my Pele rookie. That is a 4.5. What makes that great, though, and as you guys know on PWCC, they have the where they give it the extra 5% at the top 5%, which is this one is. It's the superior. And you can kind of see that there on the back.
Wow.
Honestly, guys, I think it looks like a PSA 6, to be honest with you. It's beautiful. I can't find anything wrong with it. Just an awesome card. And when I think of soccer and I think of Pele, that's Babe Ruth to me. So
that's an unbelievable card. That's
a good way to put it into perspective, because for a novice soccer guy like myself, but a baseball guy, it's nice to be like, yeah, that could be a Gaudy Ruth or something. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, now my wheels are spinning.
So that's actually really good then, Nate, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is, and man, that Eminence Maradona, I gotta say, man, I never knew that they had the white background, blue tint, blue ink cards until one time I was at the Wisconsin Dells card show a couple years back. And there was a guy who was giving me a little bit of a hard time for, at the time, not understanding everything about soccer, learning about the older guys, right? Like, back when I first started in the first year, I had a lot to learn. I was very open about that. And I still do have a lot to learn, too. But he walks up to me, a white background Eminence card. He's like, I've never seen this before, a white background Eminence card. And now I always think of that guy when I see them. And he motivated me, too, to be better and to learn more. So I appreciate that guy, even if he gave me a hard time at the moment. But man, that's a sick card, man. That's such a nice card. And same with the Pele. It's one, honestly, I don't know how you feel, and maybe you feel the same way as me because you own the card, but the Alifa Bolaga is obviously the most valuable card. I think that Editora Aquarella is like one of the best looking cards. Like, it's like full size, big portrait, beautiful card. If I were to choose one, I'd choose that, especially because it's affordable too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're thinking the exact same way. I just think that's an iconic picture of Pele right there in my eyes.
Yeah.
Love it. I couldn't agree more, Aaron. Yes.
I might need to get like a 1.5 of that or something like that.
Nate, I got to give you a shout out, my friend. I've never met you in person, but I've watched you numerous times on the shows, and your knowledge in baseball blows my mind. You're incredible, my friend. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Well, thank you. Are you going to be at the National this year?
I will be. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be with Andy at Indy Card Exchange. I'll be hanging out with those guys, but I'll be walking around too.
All right, perfect. We'll see you there. And thank you for the compliment. I don't know if I deserve it, but I appreciate it.
Nate, I'll shout out. I think you deserve it. You did a great job for us, so thank you. All right, next up, moving to a card here on the platform. So this one's also ending tonight. The LeBron James X Fractor number 150 BGS 9.5. It's $8,500 right now. Why was this one second on your list, man? What are we looking at here?
Look what he's doing. I mean, I'm blown away by this guy. At his age, what he's doing is just. I know everybody says Jordan is the GOAT, and I agree with that. But Jordan wasn't doing this kind of stuff at what is LeBron, 38?
Yeah, around there, right?
This is incredible. What he did the other night against the Grizzlies. I mean, what did Dylan Brooks say? Something about you got to give me 40 if you want me to respect you, and then they beat him by 40, and LeBron led the way. I mean, come on. That card there, right there, though, for me, I know everybody goes Topps Chrome. For me, that Bowman Chrome pose is just so iconic for me. And getting that X Factor and a 9.5, I know we're at 8,500. We still have a few minutes to go. But the last one sold in December for what? $12,655. I mean, if I was going to invest $10,000 right now in a card, I think it would be that card.
That's a high remark right there. Nick Foles says Curry over LeBron. Now, Shane, where do you sit on the Curry? I know I'm not saying that Curry should be over LeBron, but where do you sit on Curry in the hobby? Because like I feel like he sits. You've got LeBron. He really feels like he's number 2 in the hobby. Obviously, a lot of people can argue some different players if they want to all time, but he's way up there from popularity standpoint.
Yeah. Curry. I mean, he dropped 50 today? That's the most ever in a Game 7.
It is. Yeah.
Wow. I have nothing of Steph Curry. I think I have like his shoe, what was that noir shoe autograph card, which is a sick.
That's a sick card.
Yeah, very cool card, but I don't have any rookies, and I wish I did. I wish I'd have bought some earlier when they were a little bit cheaper. I mean, I think we're going to see what the Golden State Warriors versus the Lakers to get into the finals, right?
To get into the semifinal.
The semis? Yeah. I mean, that's just going to be an epic battle. Yeah. And if you got a chance to spend some money on Curry, I mean, you can't go wrong either way. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Jordan GOAT and LeBron Baby GOAT. I stole that from Andy, by the way. He Baby GOAT.
you got two polar opposite opinions here. Well, pretty opposite. Hector goes Curry barely in top 10 all time. Come on. And Golden State Warriors, no bias here, obviously, says Curry is top 6 all time. Not even in a discussion. I'm just messing around with you, GST Warriors fan. But I agree. I think Curry. I'm not an old basketball savant or anything like that. But it's just I don't know how you can leave out Curry after winning 4 titles and being the best shooter of all time, doing what he's done for the game. I just don't see how it's possible. And then today, adding the legacy 250 in a Game 7 is unreal.
Yeah,
on the road in the toughest place to play, honestly, at the moment.
Yeah, and you want to talk about comparing greatest shooters of all time? My favorite basketball player of all time is Reggie Miller. So for me to say that Steph Curry's a better shooter than Reggie, that's a big compliment for me to say, and he is. He's a better shooter than Reggie.
Question: you might like Reggie as a player. What do you think about Reggie as an announcer?
I'm back and forth.
He gets a lot of smoke. He gets a lot of smoke for saying some whack things sometimes.
He said some pretty wild stuff on the air. Yeah, I'm back and forth. I'm kind of indifferent. I guess I won't comment because I love him as a basketball player.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I got you. I was more just curious. Shane, kind of question off the fly here because I know. Like you're a guy who I feel like has got such a great target list. Like when you go after something, I see the best things on your story. But you're also a guy I feel like that rips a lot of products. Like you go and you have fun at IndyCar Exchange and rip some packs. There's not many people I feel like that can like really do like focus on both. You're either all in on targeting this like great list of cards, or you're all in on just ripping as much product as you can, like Nate. But tell me how do you balance it, man? That's a tough game to balance, I feel.
It is. It's very tough. And I tell you, that just goes back to my love for the hobby. I mean, there is nothing more thrilling than opening a pack of cards and getting last week I pulled at a Finest Flashback Soccer, I pulled a Messi orange autograph. I'm by myself in my place here, and I open it, and I'm like screaming, yes, I just got this. And there was nobody around. Like, why am I not at the shop opening these cards? Because that's where the fun is at, right? You got to support your local card shops. And I think just having that thrill of opening that card and sharing it with all your friends that are surrounding you as you're opening, there's nothing better than that. But on the flip side, what I talked about earlier, addiction, it can go down a slippery slope for sure. You open a box, you don't hit anything. Well, let me try another. Well, there's got to be something good in this case. And then you just keep going. And then sometimes you don't hit anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a slippery slope.
Seen that a bunch at Brewtown. Guy comes in, buys one box, does really well, buys another box, does pretty good, buys the next 12, rips it, does terrible, only takes the hits, doesn't take the receipt, can't show his wife. Oh boy.
Yeah,
And that's just one of many, many examples.
You're killing me right now. We got some comments here. Hector goes, 6 Bowman blasters waiting for me at home. Can't wait to rip tonight. I gotta say, Hector, I ripped a Bowman jumbo case on our Whatnot stream, not for myself, but for our customers. And there's nothing like opening Bowman, man.
How many Drew Jones did you hit?
Okay, get out of here. We're not talking about that. This man hits 2 Drew Jones in 2 cases. And
Wait, two Drew Jones gold.
Yeah,
autos.
Gold.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Also, Junior Caminero and Roman Anthony and Diane Jorge gold autos.
Yeah, the dude was just going crazy last week.
Wow.
But that's fun, Hector. Good luck on those. Gabriel says, hey, guys, I'm here. All is well now. You're right. I was so worried before you got here, Gabriel. I just didn't think that the show could go on. But you're here now, so thank you.
Well, sweet. We can start our interview with Shane now.
Yeah, whatever he said doesn't count. Texas, I definitely rip more than I grade and sell, but you're right. It's so satisfying opening packs of friends. I mean, it's the best, seriously. That's where the memories are made.
Shane, speaking of a guy that lives a healthy lifestyle while also being in cards, Tech going to be trying out for the Spokane soccer team here in his 30s. So,
oh, I love that. Yeah, good luck, Tech. That's awesome, man.
I love that. Tech goes, Nate is legendary, and Hector goes, Nate just lowered my pack odds. No Drew Jones for you, Hector. All right, Shane, I love that Messi you hit. That Messi was unbelievable, that orange flashback. Oh, it's one of my favorite sets as well. But you said that there's a different card you're looking at here, and it's the Messi jersey number 10 out of 10 from 2020 Immaculate with that Barca kid on there. Why do you like this card, and what do you think of Messi maybe in the marketplace today?
Man, Aaron, we've talked many times. I think many of you know I love Ronaldo, but I mean, there's no denying I think Messi is the GOAT at this point. What he's accomplished over the past few years has just taken him to that next level. And that card right there, I usually am against sticker autographs when it comes to soccer. When I invest in soccer cards, it's got to be on-card autographs. I know that's a sticker, but it's match worn. So if you take a look at the back of the card, finding Messi match worn patches or jerseys is just so hard these days. It's graded a PSA 8. I don't think there's any graded higher than that. And it's also jersey number. I mean, that card, and it's vertical. I'm not a big horizontal fan. I know my Maradona is horizontal, but I like vertical cards. There's a lot about that card that I like, and I probably will be bidding on that card.
That is bold of you to bring that up. I said I understand if you don't want to bring up things you've been bidding on, but that's bold of you. Also, a few things on top of this. So, first of all, I actually didn't realize at first that this was match worn. It's got a great autograph on it too. It's very difficult to find match worn patch autos, so like that's a huge plus here. Do you see that website on there right between the match worn and the bio on the back? So that says Fundación Leo Messi. And I just typed in the website on Google, and it's literally like all about his like Leo Messi Foundation, which is awesome. Like I'd never have seen that on a card before where they put on like a player's foundation's website or anything like that.
What year is this from?
It's from 2020.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Literally at the bottom, one of their sponsors for the Leo Messi Foundation is the university I went to in Barcelona when I studied abroad there. Pretty cool.
Wow.
UNICEF. All right. Shane, last thing here before we start to let you go. So I want to know 2 things. First thing is, what is your favorite thing about the hobby? Maybe you already said it. If you already said it, you can keep it short, but first go with that.
Sure. Yeah. The relationships, right? I mean, one of my best friends in the world right now is Andy, the owner of Indie Card Exchange. And we met, back in 2012, opening Panini Contenders football boxes. I was chasing Andrew Luck rookie cards.
That's a big set back in the day.
Right?
Robert Griffin, Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just have created this great relationship, this friendship that has gone for, over a decade. And, I just mentioned Andrew, St. Croix Cards, you, Aaron. I mean, I've known you for a couple of years now. And yeah, we've done deals, but having these friendships and these relationships with people that I've met on social media, LAFC Gooner, Miles, a great friend of mine on social media, Instagram as well. I wouldn't have known all of these people and learned more about soccer and the hobby if it wasn't for social media and these relationships. Like, I can go to the National this summer and not get one card, but if I hang out with all my friends and continue to build those friendships, that's what means the most to me.
I love that answer. I think that's a answer that a lot of people do provide, but for good reason, because it means so much to so many people. It's not to say everyone's answer is irrelevant. It means that it actually is such a big deal that's a thing. I also want to point out one thing you said. You said, you learn a lot from people when you talk to them. I agree with you. I would say that other than just reading on Twitter as I can about different things that happen like day to day and news and that type of stuff, talking to people in the hobby who know the sport is so important. Like Andrew, as you brought up, St. Croix Cards, he runs our SlabStox FC episode. I've known him for years now, and I've learned so much by just talking with him on a daily basis. Julian, our intern, has been big into soccer for a decade. Learn a ton from him. Yourself, other people I talk to on Instagram. The more people you talk to about things that you enjoy, the more you'll learn and the more you'll build your knowledge base. So I do think, take the time I know not everyone is a people person or wants to message people or learn, but if you do want to and you do think you can find value in it, it's definitely worth it to start building your network and your relationships, just to learn, because you brought up, you're like, yeah, I know we've done deals in the past. Like, shit, I don't even think I don't, some people, you look and you're like, oh yeah, I did deal with that guy. I don't even think about that with you. I'm like, yeah, I forgot. Actually, I sold you my Messi Landmarks PSA 10. Now that you brought that up, the matchups, Blue and Ronaldo, Messi as well. And then I know that you and my dad did the trade at the Midwest Monsters, which was really, really cool. So
yeah,
it's funny. All those little deals just kind of fit into what happens along the way, but it's really the friendship that means the most, especially for me too.
And I still own those cards, all of those cards, by the way.
That's awesome. I love it. I figure that you probably did, man. That Messi Landmarks, I love that card. I can't believe how much those went up in value. Yep. I had a good purchase on it. You had a probably even better purchase on it now compared to the value, but man, what a card. Yep. All right, and then last question here to leave everyone with is, what do you think can change for the hobby or change for the better inside the hobby? Because you talk a lot about these things that you try to do to create a healthy hobby for yourself. Maybe overall something you don't have control of, like what can change. And I don't want you don't have to be negative, but just a way that we think that we can drive forward as a collective group.
And I took notes. I always like to come prepared to stuff like this. I think I want to see the hobby continue to grow and evolve over the years, right? And how do we do that? We do that with our youth. And it sounds like Fanatics is taking some steps to try to get the kids more involved. I talked about what Indie Card Exchange did today with their kids club event, and just continuing to educate and make this fun for our youth as they get older, so they can carry on the torch. And when they're in their 40s, like me, they're still collecting, right? And if there's something that I can't control, I think we're starting to see a shift with pricing. Because, we have to admit, pricing for boxes and packs has just been out of control over the past 2 years. I was excited when Donruss Soccer came out, and it was $185 at the card shop first week. Now the rebuys have gotten closer to $275, but that first week it was $185, and I was like, oh my gosh, we finally got a great quality product that's under $200 again. So I think that's probably the one thing that I'm hoping I see some improvements with Fanatics as they move forward with the pricing.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Shane. Man, thank you so much. At Indie Card Collectors, where I find them on Instagram. I really appreciate the time. Great answers. Nate, anything else before we let him go?
No, just thanks for coming on here and chatting with us today. And I do appreciate your tier system and firmly placing cards last. It's important to keep in mind that there's a lot more important things out there than cards. So,
amen. Hey, Nate, Aaron, thank you. This was an honor to be on your guys' show. I'm so happy to be friends with you guys, and looking forward to seeing you guys this summer.
Appreciate it, man. I can't wait to see you. I'll see you in June, and then we'll see you again at the National.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks so much.
Shane.
See you, Shane.
Take care.
Man, he's one of the best dudes I've ever met in the hobby, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for dipping off the screen every once in a while. I've got a little bit of it's 80 degrees out here the last couple of days, and now I've got a cold. Didn't get a cold all winter, but...
You're telling me you have a cold and it's 80 degrees?
Dude, yeah. So I've been dipping off screen to blow my nose.
Been dipping
But,
off.
but yeah, all of a sudden it was like 50s, 66, 77, 80, 80, 80, 80. Like we had like 2 days of spring.
That's crazy, man. We're still stuck in our like kind of 40-degree, 50-degree, a little rain here and there, gloominess. Not great right now. We gotta get into those like mid 60s and sunny, and I'll be happy.
That's
All
my
right.
ideal as well.
There's I hope you all enjoyed. If anyone has any questions post interview with Shane, please let us know. If you have any thoughts on Shane, let us know as well. I thought that was awesome, and I really appreciate him taking the time. I know these episodes are pretty late on Sundays, so it means a lot for sure.
Especially Eastern time.
Yeah, Indianapolis is in Eastern time. So what's up, Hank? How we doing? Good to see you. And all right, there is some pretty sick cards ending, not gonna lie. So first one, there's a few I just want to bring up that I noticed on tonight's auction. I'm like, these things are just sick. I love Giannis
Time to
rookies.
sell that though.
What do you say?
That's tough timing on the person who.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I love Giannis rookies. I love on-card autos. I love flawless. This gold foil too. Gold foil on-card auto rookie Giannis number out of 10. PSA authentic, so you never know. It could be like a 4 or 5. With an 8 auto. It's at 67.50. It's just a beautiful
How is that
card.
an 8 auto? Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah, I was kind of curious as well. Like normally I feel like that's a 9. Like maybe it's because
maybe the little missing maybe, or
so in the middle there's there's a little bit missing, and then there's like the little blob, but like there's a little smudge maybe on the dot. I don't know. I mean, normally auto has to be pretty brutal for it to get under a 9, honestly.
I've seen much worse autos get 10s, so
Zip, there we go. Zip's cards putting into practice. Says my wife is pregnant, or else I probably wouldn't be selling that Pedri.
Respect.
Yeah, there you go. If there's a good reason.
Also, congratulations.
Also, yes, congratulations.
On the future child. It's exciting.
Did you see how many 1-of-1s are in here? Like different,
Dude,
like
I put like 5,000 1-of-1s. There's the Eli and Roethlisberger 1-of-1. There's like another Eli 1-of-1.
Yeah. It was in here somewhere.
There's a Evan Mobley mosaic black 1-of-1. Oh yeah, there you go.
That's a sick Eli. The Westbrook 2009 NT logo man, sticker auto, but still sick logo man. Superfractor Peyton Manning from 2008 Topps Chrome, my favorite year. Nate, Cardinals, they're not great. Are they making a mistake?
Cardinals suck. Hey, here's the thing. What have we said all year long?
Go ahead.
Oh, maybe I haven't said it to you. What have I said on Dinging Corners all year long? Aaron, you must listen, right? Every week?
Oh, yeah.
Is that you look at the Cardinals pitching staff, and it was Jack Flaherty, who is an injury-prone dude, and a bunch of guys that do not scare you whatsoever. And you know what's happened to a bunch of guys who don't scare you whatsoever?
They're getting
rocked.
You did actually bring this up, I think, in a different SlabStox Sundays episode. Now you say it, but Jordan Walker specifically, they're not good, and they send him down. Like that's what's surprising to me, I guess.
Well, they're 10-19. They're 10 games back of first place.
They're really bad.
They're really bad, and it's the most beautiful thing I think I have ever witnessed in my entire life. Like on a scale of 1 to 10 of how great this is, it's not a 10 because a 10 would be a Brewers World Series. And it's not a 9 because that would be very Vikings, Minnesota energy for me.
Thank you for saying that.
So it's an 8.
It's an 8. Just to put you a peg below the Vikings wanting the Packers to lose more. Oh, we didn't even get to bring it up yet. NFL draft, baby. How we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel a little bit like I saw a few too many. Luke Van Ness is a big white guy defensive end, right? And I saw a lot of he's the next TJ Watt.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, let's. I have a feeling I know why they're saying it. So like outside of that, I really love this draft class. I love getting multiple tight ends because it was barren. There was Twitter was a mixed bag on that Jaden. What's his last name? Jaden Reed from Michigan State. Twitter was a very mixed bag. There's either people liked the pick or they hated it, and there was like no middle ground.
ESPN guys, I think, really liked it.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see how that pans out. But the Packers have had some success with second-round picks, wide receivers: Christian Watson, Devontae Adams, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, to name a few. So I like that, and then the rest of the way, just random positions, and who knows what's going to happen with your fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounders. But you get them in, and maybe they can start on special teams for a while and end up in a starting spot down the road, and it's worth it. And if it doesn't, you'll get more sixth, seventh, fifth, sixth, seventh round picks next year.
Dude, we got so many picks after all those trades or whatever.
Hey, I liked it because clearly, you pick up a fifth and a sixth for a second. You wanted a guy, you didn't draft him. You get a fifth and a sixth to draft 5 picks later. You still get him.
Yeah, why not?
I can handle that. Also, the Texans having the number 2 pick, taking CJ Stroud, and then trading back up to 3 to take Will Anderson. Awesome.
You like that?
Well, it's bold. I like it.
I couldn't believe when I saw Texans picking back to back, like in an NFL draft that just seems so improbable.
That's Madden. They're basically playing Madden, is what it felt like.
That is exactly what they were doing.
And then Sean brings it up. Detroit having the 11th pick because they traded back from 6 to 11, right?
Oh, this was shambles, dude.
And then they took a running back. And now, of course, they've traded DeAndre Swift away now. And Jamal Williams didn't resign. He signed with the Saints. But, dude, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, but if you're taking a running back in the top 15 picks this year, draft, you better sit at number 6 and take Bijan Robinson and just suck up taking him before number 8.
Even that.
I know. I'm just saying if you have to do one or the other.
My biggest issue is if you draft a guy at 6th, you're paying him 6th overall pick money. That's like one of the highest paid running backs, or 8th, or 11th. That's one of the highest paid running backs in the league already.
Yeah. And
so you're not getting a deal money-wise, and so you need him to produce, and then you're going to have to pay him if he does produce. It's a brutal – since they don't get paid a ton, it's a brutal it's brutal.
I can move on, or not move on, but I can expand on brutalness and talk about this nobility club and country. This one specifically is the and country gold odd 10. So one of the first soccer cards I've ever bought was way back in, I think that's probably 2019. Gold odd 10 of this card, except it was actually the club. It was Ronaldo, gold odd 10 of this card. Nate, I bought it for $30. Okay, I sold it for 110. And you know me, tripling up, fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, these cards are very rare, very hard to find. Now, I didn't understand at the time how rare this set is and how sought after it is. The last sale of this for Ronaldo gold out of 10 was $2,000 July 16th, 2022. To let you know, there has only been 2 sales of the club gold out of 10. It was Messi and Ronaldo, both over 2K. So they're just very rare cards to sell, which is why I'm actually very excited about these two. I don't really want a Manchester United card, but even if, I'm probably not going to win this England one either. Do you see all the different orange refractor autos of Giolito and whoever else? There's another one out there.
Some tough pitchers in there.
Yeah. Giolito, and then there was Casey Mize, a couple other dudes. Earl Thomas Shield sick. I know you like this.
Dude, buy that.
I have no reason to buy it, but I know you like it.
Peter Dinklage is the
I know from Elf. I know.
No, he's just super famous now.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Totally worth it.
It's a sick card. That's from 2012 also. That's like the early set.
Season 1, yeah. Could be fun. You know how we're always looking for interesting cards at the National.
I know. PSN 9 sold 472. It's an 8. I feel like it's going to go over 300 anyways, probably. I personally, if I'm buying a card for my collection, I want this so badly. This seems to be the rarest and best Mario Kart card without doing any research, just from looking at the one selling here every week. This is so sick.
That's pretty cool. Also, on Real Music's point, it's the 5th-year option. That I was really shocked when a team didn't trade into the back of the first round to draft Will Levis. He went 33rd to the Titans. Yeah, I'm shocked a team didn't trade into the back of that to draft him for that 5th-year option specifically.
So you're telling me first-round picks are the only ones that get the options?
Pretty sure.
Because that actually shocks me as well, because I really thought that someone was gonna trade into that spot.
Hey, speaking of down on the farm, Spencer Jones is unreal. Speaking of Spencer Jones, I saw a thing about his home to third time on a triple the other day.
Yo, I saw that too.
And he was like fractions of a second. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm butchering this because I don't remember who the player they are comparing. But we're talking like 80 grade speed out of Spencer Jones, which is insane.
They had him at a 40 grade speed to start, and I saw someone said upgrade that speed right now. It was like 10.58 seconds or something, and the next closest was like, or the best was like 10.5. Dude, who was it? It was someone that's like pretty
I feel
popular.
like it was like Corbin Carroll or something.
I think it was Corbin Carroll.
But it was absurdly close to where it's like, oh, goodness gracious. Like if he has those types of wheels.
Talk to me about those Bowman guys. How are you feeling with the prices? I don't know if you've been keeping track of them to start.
I have not. I have not kept great track of it through the weekend. And yes, Down the Farm has been beating. He's been a big Spencer Jones guy.
That's where I saw it from. Down the Farm, shout out.
Is that who tweeted it? Was it?
I think I saw an Instagram story from Down the Farm.
Oh, I saw it in a tweet. But yeah, I have not. I will admit I have not kept great track of Bowman prices in the early going.
250 Drew with Spencer Jones redemption. Now it's at 560 base auto for Drew Jones, 1280 purple auto.
560?
Yeah, 560 for the last base auto on auction. 510 blue auto 1800. Someone already got in person signed a Spotlight Nate in blue ink by Drew Jones. This is sick.
Did I show you the Spotlight Aqua I hit?
Yeah, I saw.
Look up Spotlight. Look up like Spotlight Aqua or Spotlight 125.
You're saying that one sold for a lot?
Well, I don't know if they've sold, but I just want you to 125. Look at that thing. Just click on that Anthony Gutierrez. Look at that thing pop.
I may or may not be watching a Jackson Churier that's listed on auction.
Ooh, and I pulled the Drew Jones of that card.
Yeah, I know that was sick. You see that one sign though? Someone was talking about that in our stream.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't see that on the screen when I just showed it?
Oh, the sign. I did see the sign.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said stream. Oh, this stream.
Oh, yeah. But you. Yeah, no, I just showed it now.
Yeah. I saw it.
Dope. And of course, everyone, as always, we will be giving away a card or two, depending on what we can find out there. I'm going to switch gears that pretty soon. I just want to see if I can win a card that I was just looking at, but now I'm getting a little slow. All right, it's back. I really liked Earl Thomas. I know he retired, a couple years ago, pretty early, but that's a sick card.
Married to the game, Earl Thomas.
Went to UT.
There was a DK Metcalf NFL Shield.
There was
as well.
There's also a Mike Evans NFL Shield this week.
Mike.
Is it today? Nick, give me your Packers prediction for this upcoming season, like record-wise.
All right, here. Let me ask you a question. You answer these questions, I'll give you my prediction.
All
right. How many games do one of Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs miss?
Probably like a combined 10 games.
Okay. How many games does Rashawn Gary miss?
Well, hopefully he only misses the first few.
Because I think, we always have to deal with injuries, obviously. And in years past, it was Aaron Rodgers can cover up for any injuries you have by just being Aaron Rodgers. That no longer is the case, which means we have to have all of our other guys healthy and spectacular, probably to compete at a high level. Just because the team isn't as good as it used to be, even outside of QB. So I don't know. I could see us maybe squeaking into a playoff spot at 9-8 if everything breaks right.
Oh,
and I can also see us winning 4 games.
I heard someone say after our very first pick, looks like we're tanking for Caleb Williams.
I mean, if the worst outcome is that we're really bad and we get one of the Caleb Williams would have gone number 1 this year, from everything I understand.
I would probably, yeah.
From everything I've read, he would have likely gone number 1 this year. If so if your worst outcome is you stink, Jordan Love stinks, and then you get to draft a really good QB. All right.
I'm game. And then what's your honest Jets prediction for next year? I saw a lot of people saying that Jets team that they have now is better than any team that the Packers ever fielded for Rodgers, which I just can't seem to be true. I can't see that to be true.
I mean, their defense was really good last year.
I know.
Like, really good. Brees Hall is a good running back. I don't know if he's
also out for over half the year.
Yeah. And Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard is very interesting. It's not better than Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard or anything like that they've had. But it's
not to mention when we had Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, and Randall Cobb all at one point.
Andrew Michael Finley.
Yeah.
I do think they're going to be quite good, but Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I think they're going to disappoint. I think they're going to be good enough to get us a first-round pick, and then they're going to disappoint.
Sounds like more of the same to me.
Yep.
Oh, also I saw the Mets. Did they bounce back?
What do you mean?
Like, how they started the year pretty poopy.
Oh, yeah. They have been pretty good. It's amazing what happens when you start young kids like Brett Beatty and those guys. But they did lose a couple games to the Nationals, which is a tough scene.
That is a tough scene. Don't they stink?
The Nationals?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're real bad. They're like I don't know how close to under 500 they are, but they're bad.
Real bad. If anyone has won any items so far tonight, please. I swear.
Ooh, you see
What?
this?
What?
Shane won the Messi.
He did. We love it, Shane. Congrats. Also, thanks for coming on. Nick, this is a very, very, very interesting proposition here. The Caleb Williams first Bowman Chrome cards, because I think that he has a super, super high chance of winning the Heisman again this year, which is not a crazy statement. Like Nate said, going to be first overall pick. I think that a lot of people aren't going to be thinking about him this exact moment, other than maybe people who are sitting here right now thinking about him. And it might be a solid time, because if you think about it,
about him because they're thinking about him in that beautiful green and gold.
Exactly. But if you really think about it, I mean, what else is going to release of this guy before he gets drafted? Maybe a few more products, Bowman University products, maybe a random leaf product here or there. It's like baseball. It might not be the pinnacle like baseball, but when people go to buy the card of him before he gets drafted, it will be that first Bowman University Chrome card. So
yeah.
It's not a bad idea in the slightest, especially because I think the cards actually got pretty affordable after the release. Honestly, I might go start looking after this live stream.
I like it. Varden won a Klay Thompson Galactic. Nice. Paul won a Game Used 2001 Dikembe Mutombo Philadelphia jersey card. It's fun.
I'm a tad confused. I really thought I bid on a few more items than I did, but I'm not seeing them. Maybe I didn't. I'm just.
Well, you have no cards left?
No. I'm just like clicking. Oh, I know why. I was in my favorites, I think, versus my bids. I was trying to win a card for a giveaway. Oh, it was like Sean Marion or whatever I bid on. It's just a fun set. Remember this guy, dude? Super ugly shot for him.
Of course I remember Sean Marion.
Very effective player, though, on a championship team.
Yeah.
High bidder.
Did you see the Pirates the other day?
Wait,
16-1.
You gotta talk to me about this, dude. What is going on with those fellas?
Well, they are really good at pitching right now, which is frustrating because that's like the Brewers thing, whereas like you grab though they did lose today to the Nationals, so that's embarrassing. You grab random dudes and just turn them back into themselves. So you got that going on, and then you also have the whole, Jack Sawinski is breaking out, and Andrew McCutchen is back home hitting like 2012 Andrew McCutchen.
No,
which is wild.
no, he is.
Dude, he's killing it.
No way.
He's got an 830 OPS.
Where was this last year?
Yeah. Jack Sawinski, he has rookie cards last year,
Yeah.
and he had a 3-home run game last year.
Yeah, that's where I know the name from. I remember that name.
So then he had a 3-home run game this year as well, but he's also has 1,011 OPS in 22 games to start the year, which is crazy.
Brian Reynolds doing well?
Brian Reynolds, of course, is doing well, 926 OPS. Connor Joe, 24 games, 80 at-bats, 962 OPS. Rodolfo Castro, who had rookie cards last year, who I have never even thought about ever again, 853 OPS. Miguel Andujar, only 8 at-bats, but has 2 home runs already on the year. Like, you're getting they're getting production from Miguel Andujar. It's a lot of guys I think are probably overachieving, so you could probably expect regression at some point, but for right now, they're a very fun story.
What percent odds do you give us to win the Central?
Oh, right now? Well, I'm not expecting the Cardinals to come back with that rotation. If Adam Wainwright gets healthy and is productive, and they call up a couple of their young studs, Gordon Graceffo, Matthew Liberatore from AAA, maybe that rotation gets better with Jack Flaherty fronting it, and then they might be a little bit more of a challenge. I really do. The Pirates are very fun. They're exciting. I mean, we're talking about a lineup: Jack Sawinski, Andrew McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, Connor Joe, Rodolfo Castro, Miguel Andujar, Ji-Hwan Bae, G-Man Choi, Carlos Santana, Brian Hayes, Austin Hedges. That's not a lot of guys that are like, that's a lot of guys I expect to be having like 700, below 800 OPSs.
Yeah.
So I do expect major regression there, to the point where I don't think they're going to be keeping this up. I give the Brewers pretty good odds, honestly, at this moment, though they would be a lot better if we were healthy. Brandon Woodruff has just announced finally today a timetable. He should return end of June. That's 2 months without our second best pitcher. Adrian Houser's still not healthy. Obviously, Garrett Mitchell out. Sal Frelick, who should be replacing Garrett Mitchell, out. So we gotta keep winning these little games and get healthy, and then we should be okay. A little worried about the Cubs though as well.
Yeah, they're having a good start to the year.
Yeah, they haven't called up a lot of their young prospects that should be up right now.
AKA Matt Mervis.
Yeah.
Got some good wins here. So Michael Hathaway got the first Bowman Orange of Kyle Tucker. Congratulations. Paul won a game used 2001 to Kevin Mutombo home jersey. Wow. Okay. It's a big item. Varden won a Klay Thompson Galactic. Go Dubs. Yes, Sam, welcome. Definitely watch the replay. He did some great analysis for us. Jerry won 2 1935 Queen Elizabeth cards. And then Wesley got a 1966 Marvel Superheroes card. I'm a sucker for those. I too am a sucker for fun things like that, as you can see with the Mario Kart cards. And then the TSCP, 2 Timo Werner Superfractors, the 2020 and the 2019 finest. The 2020 is the prize footballers, which is so dope. Chelsea jersey. Really like that card. Congrats on it. It's pretty sick. Nate said, or not Nate, Julian says, Wayne Rooney. Yes, I lost that card. I got my Gasly hoodie on, Julian. And yes, we are doing a giveaway at the end of the night, Zelda. I think I just got that Rod Carew bat, and we'll probably do it on a game used Rod Carew bat from 2004, which is a fun card. SCP going back in, SP Authentics, Jason Robertson, rookie PSA 10. And then Dan Cater says, I think I'm selling a Kareem Hunt jersey in this week's auction. That is a player I haven't thought about in forever.
Kareem Hunt?
Yeah,
Did he sign somewhere else?
I don't know. But the Lions, man, like, I understand that Swift has been injured and stuff. Didn't they take him in the second round?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, like
2019, something like that.
2020.
2020.
Yeah. RH traded him for a 4th round pick and then used a 1st round pick. on a running back.
Yeah, that's tough seeing. But he is often injured.
Yeah,
Not really
yeah,
very
yeah.
trustworthy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's see what other monsters are hanging out there. That Superfractor Peyton Manning is up big.
Kareem Hunt is a free agent.
Oh wow. Yes.
Why didn't the Lions just sign Kareem Hunt and call it a day? Outside of being a bad dude.
SCP the Cup 2005 Noble numbers Frank Mahovlich and Daryl Sittler patch out 27. Wow. Okay, so I saw the Kraken were up 1-0. Now they're up 2-0.
You know the Kraken have become really good ever since I became a fan. It's kind of like the Arsenal effect.
I can't take this. I cannot take this. Come on, Avalanche. Score 3 straight here. Hansel says, won the Ronaldo Immaculate Match from patch auto. Congrats. Very nice card. This is crazy, man. Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Dude, how much is
that? What?
How much is that Jaylen Brown going for?
Yeah, it's at $12,500 gold PSA 10. This guy just scored 2 goals within 4 minutes. But it'd be crazy. Absolutely crazy to have the Bruins and the Avalanche eliminated the same night, both in game 7s, both on the road too. Or the better teams at home. Yeah, exactly.
The road team is winning.
Yes, there we go. Cam Resch, logo man, dude, that's so much money for a guy that just doesn't even get to play ever wherever he goes.
Yeah, people like their logo man.
He's still 23. He played on the Blazers last. I think he got traded mid-season, right?
Yeah,
twice. He's on the Knicks, and he got traded to the Trailblazers.
He got traded mid-season last year, and then this year.
Back-to-back years. That's a sign of I don't think that people really buy into what you're doing. I am very ready for Lakers and Golden State. Honestly, specifically the Lakers, I really don't want to advance very far, but that's a box office matchup. Lakers and Golden State with LeBron and Curry. It's
almost like the NBA planned it.
It's almost like the script is turning out just right,
man.
Arian Foster probably fed it to him.
Yep.
I can't believe that blew all that up. Awesome. Jerry got a Messi debut 2004 ticket stub PSA 8 pop 7 non-hire. Wow, that sounds pretty sick. I'm not a ticket collector, but that sounds cool. What is this?
That's sick. Is it game 1?
Well, it's a 75th year patch, right? 2005 Topps definitive. It says it's not from any specific event or season, but on the front, does it say? Normally, sometimes it says underneath the game used memorabilia or something like that.
Sick. Significantly less sick.
Significantly less sick. Considering I don't even know when the 75th year anniversary patches would have ever been on jersey, unless
1995, probably.
Oh, so maybe then
2019 or 1919, 1920, something like that is when the NFL started.
See, I guess my mind just goes right to the Super Bowl era starting versus the actual NFL, which obviously is
would not have been 75 years yet. 1920,
correct. Well, could have been almost 75 years, but not for a Jerry Rice patch.
Correct. 1967, 66, 67 for Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So we're not even close to 60.
Yeah, not even in the ballpark. Years. I almost thought it was late 50s, but clearly wrong. There's some pretty big Russell Westbrook cards other than the logo man ending. I actually had no idea they made the Youthquake cards in 2008.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, these were from the 1996 set with Kobe Bryant. This is a Youthquake autograph with a Russell Westbrook auto that definitely looks a little bit more time taken out to sign those. PSA 10. This is number out 30. It's a pop one. It's at $12.50 right now. Man, he had a lot to handle once Kawhi and Paul George both went down. Honestly, handled better than I thought he would.
You know I'm a big Russell fan.
I know you are.
Dude's stud. I do hate what he has become to the NBA, but I still love. I just think back to 2012, 2013, 2014 Russell, and not today's Russell.
You want the triple dub average Westbrook.
I want
I gotta say that
explodes like a bullet through the lane for a massive aggressive dunk.
Man, dude, some of those were just insane. Wow. Offensive lineman card at 340 right now. Zach Martin, PSA 10. Red refractor at 25.
Goodness gracious.
Hank just making sure he can pump up your ego right here. Nate, you're cracking or winning.
I mean, I am the owner of 2 Kraken sweatshirts, so
Nate, you gotta tell the story about when you were at the supermarket or whatever.
Oh, that was a tough scene. You know, usually I pride myself on my sports knowledge. You know, baseball, football, basketball, and sometimes I don't see enough or learn enough because I'm stuck on a sport for a time or something like that, right? But saw some Kraken sweatshirts at TJ Maxx and they were super cheap, like under $20 for both of them, and they looked cool, so I bought them. It's like, yeah, I'll become a Kraken fan. I'll slowly learn hockey, and you know, I've never lived somewhere where I could be a hockey fan before because I'm not rooting for Minnesota Wild. I'm not rooting for the Chicago Blackhawks as somebody who lives and was raised in Wisconsin. I'd rather die. So Kraken, perfect. And then I'm wearing that out and about, and Kraken play later that day, and 2 different people stopped me to talk to me about the Kraken, which was embarrassing because I knew nothing.
What did these people say to you? How about them Kraken?
Well, the one guy said, "Hey, what time do the Kraken play tonight?" I said, I haven't made it that far in my day yet.
Probably like 7.
And then I think it was 6:30, honestly. And then the next guy was like, "Oh, dude, that's a sick Kraken shirt or sweatshirt. Can't believe they beat the defending champs last night. You think we can win this series?" I'm like,
yeah.
It was tough. It was a real tough scene for me. I've never felt more like a poser in my life.
Knows nothing. What a bum.
But they are sweet sweatshirts, and I will still keep wearing them.
I gotta say, I do think they're quite cool. Oh, speaking of your guy, Jack Flaherty.
My guy?
It's a joke. I'm making a joke. Yeah, your guy, your favorite pitcher of all time, Jack Flaherty.
That's right.
Oh, I love this, Nate. Everyone talks about, you know, how Angels are never good, but they got Trout and Ohtani. Of course, Trout goes 2 home runs, 5 RBIs against the Brewers, and they score 5 runs, and they lose 7-5.
Yep. It's the most Angels thing to ever happen. It's wild. I think they really just are cursed. You get Mike Trout, you get the best player of a generation, but on the flip side, you're just not allowed to win. But they did win today.
They did. 1 of 3, though.
Yeah,
it's not going to
get it done.
Not going to get you in the playoffs.
Might get you the number 1 pick, though.
Yeah, I guess so. But at that point, you're already trading Ohtani away, too, I guess.
See, if you'd have to win, what? 54 games? You'd win 54 games. Oof.
What's the worst record of all time?
Oh, I do not know that off the top of my head.
A's, are they going to challenge for it?
Well, let me find the worst record ever. No, they are not. The Cleveland Spiders back in 1899 went 20-134.
Okay, can we have like a modern day game, like even post 1940?
All right. Currently, the Oakland Athletics are on pace to be the worst team past the year 1900 in MLB history.
Wow, what's the one that's worse right now?
Well, the Cleveland Spiders, 1899,
Okay.
Pittsburgh Alleghenies, 1890, 23-113.
Okay, post 1900. Post 1900, what's the worst?
They are the worst.
They're on pace to be they're on pace, but what was the worst?
Philadelphia Athletics, 36-117 in 1916.
Give me a team that actually is around today. What was the worst record?
Okay, fine. Does 1962 count? New York Mets 40 and 120.
But
2003 Detroit Tigers 43 and 119.
wow.
That would be funny if the Tigers just continually held that title for the sake of Jimbo and my mother-in-law, who are both big Tigers fans. Like, there's no overcoming that. Whatever they ever say, all you have to say is,
I was gonna say you always gotta have an upper hand on someone. You always gotta find out what they like and what you can diss on them for.
that's right.
That's
Find that angle.
that's what the name of relationship building is, Nate. Make sure you pick things you can't have angles with you on.
Just in case we get into an argument about sports and you need that final blow.
Definitely. Hey, how's the rookie of the year looking right now for Corbin Carroll? You think he's gonna? I mean, obviously there's a lot to be played, but think he's got a good shot.
I would just like to say that Corbin Carroll is an absolute stud.
Wait, he just got injured.
For starters, he got injured today.
Sounds like it said 11 hours ago. Corbin Carroll's knee injury last night might be related. He had a knee injury. He leaves game with left knee contusion, which doesn't sound. They said
contusion.
Yeah, they said good news.
Contusion. I don't know. I don't have another word that
Well,
rhymes.
don't bring up that word because we lost the heat because of that. So
yeah. But no, Corbin Carroll currently is chilling with a 910 OPS, 148 OPS plus. Pretty good.
It's a beast, man. 309 average too.
Ever since he had that 101 OPS plus that one day when we were talking about him and Garrett Mitchell,
yeah,
it's taken off.
Yeah, he has got 10 stolen bases also.
Well, that is expected.
Yeah, because he's fast.
He's top of the line speed.
Definitely. Matt brings up the Luddick show in Rosemont on May 13th in Rosemont. Matt, potentially, I think you may have actually texted me, and I probably actually was in the midst. Maybe I was in Toronto when you sent me that. I will try to respond to you, and I will potentially be coming. I know it's right around Mother's Day, and don't know what's all entails with that, but we will see, Matt, on that. Other if anyone's in the Chicago area, Midwest area, though, and you want to go to the Athletic Show in Rosemont, feel free on May 13th. Chance that might swing down.
Hey, real good on the Cardinals for actually sending Jordan Walker down. I feel like a lot of teams would probably try to milk it out a little bit longer.
What do you mean by that? Like, is that a service time thing?
Save face because he stunk, but the Cardinals like, no, you really actually need seasoning in AAA as opposed to getting called up straight from AA. We're going to send you down.
Speaking of sending down, didn't Jackson Chourio get sent down from AA?
Okay, it should be mentioned that most things that happened this weekend I did not see.
No, that was before this weekend.
Did he actually?
I think I was told that offhand through a phone conversation.
I don't think that's real.
It's not real.
Okay, I was like, goodness gracious, there must have been a lot of things that happened this weekend.
No.
Because I was like, I just saw him getting his minor league Gold Glove presentation today.
Yeah, you're probably like in the midst of the last 5 hours he got sent down to the high A. No, I don't even remember exactly the exact phone conversation. I just remember someone saying Chourio struggling, sent back down, and then I was like, oh, don't even remember.
I mean, it's not wrong. He has been struggling. But he's also 19 in AA, which is what I remind myself every time I look at his stats.
19 AA. There is 41 items left. We are in the 1 minute windows, everyone. We are winding down the show for the night. We do have a giveaway. It is a Rod Carew 2004 PSA graded game used battery. At least I believe it's game used. I should double check that before I speak out of turn. I also want a Kyle O'Connor. He's a player for the Jets. I like that card. I love the gold spectrums. Personally used. An official MLB game. Look at that. Game used Rod Carew bat, number of 100 from Classics. PSA 9 for $16. Okay, that's gonna be our giveaway, everyone. I got this. I love these gold spectrum rookies, number out of 50. So sick. Shout out to my man Greg, our man Greg, hockey content for SlabStox. He just did the full bounty hunt in Canada to get that gold set. It was sick from SP Authentic. Down. Oh, 24 items, Nate. Here we go. Look. It's your
Oh,
time. Oh, we have
Oh.
16 seconds. So
there's some big boys.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna scroll, refresh the page, and then we gotta pick one like quite soon after that.
Okay, I can handle that. It's almost like way too big of cards.
All right, I'm about to refresh this page. And then I'm just gonna pick one. It is now down to 14. Holy cow, that went
Holy
fast.
smokes!
I'm gonna take this Westbrook 1 of 1.
I like it. All right, go up. I'm gonna take that Peyton Manning.
Wow. Good luck, my guy. Ooh,
I always go little, so I'm gonna go just gigantic. But I didn't want to take Jaylen Brown because I don't like the Celtics. But I am a Jaylen Brown guy because share birthday and everything.
Cuero is on fire.
Speaking of Cueros that are on fire, have you seen Edgar Cuero? Do you know who Edgar Cuero is?
No.
There's Jefferson Cuero, Brewers catching prospect, 20 years old. And then there's A's catching prospect, Edgar Cuero, who is also 20 years old. And Edgar Cuero is insane this year, hitting 352, 507 on base, 463 slugging as a 20-year-old in his first taste of Double-A.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I think both of us are moving on. 1,000 Mountains. I did see that. That was one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I really don't know. It's just crazy and definitely not obviously right or cool, but I don't understand why you would post that. It makes no sense to me.
What are we talking about?
I don't want to speak too much out without knowing the full story behind it. I know people are producing content on it, but Evan Mathis, former NFL player, center for the Eagles, posted a video on TikTok of how to trim sports cards. Like, what? It seemed very serious and not a fan, to make it very clear.
Oof.
Yeah, I just saw the comment and want to bring it up since he asked. Jordan just got back from Denver. Jordan, how was the show? Also, I'm done. I'm toast.
Sucker.
And you're still what? That's lame.
What up? Never bet against Peyton Manning. That's what I learned. Except if you're facing Tom Brady. Then bet against Peyton Manning. What if they all end here? Just super expensive cards. All end. I get that easy, stupid win. Never mind. All right, not going to happen.
I would be absolutely mystified. I'm going to drop that giveaway line right now, everyone. All right, put a number 1 in the chat. Put a number 1 on. Ooh. Jordan, you almost dropped a number that could have qualified you for the giveaway. That's how bad that was. Everyone drop a number 1 in the chat. That will qualify you for the giveaway for the Rod Carew bat piece.
Oh, I've been called up. Blind vegan. Peyton has a winning record versus Brady in the playoffs. There you go.
Skydiv. What up? Oh, Nate. Take that one on the chin, dude.
I am taking it on the chin. Too bad Peyton Manning couldn't win enough to get to play him more often. Am I right?
I was going to say the biggest problem is that he just hasn't won overall nearly as much.
Oh, and here we are. Last 3.
I can't believe that.
Oh, I can. It looks like I might be done at last 3.
You get that bid? Everyone, the giveaway will close in 2 minutes, 10:08 p.m. Central Time. So get in those number 1s.
There we go. Got that bid. My only hope right now is that they all end. And the fact that we're looking at a $35 card does not give me much hope that we're all going to end here. Yeah, I'm done, Aaron. I'm guaranteed done.
You're toast?
Well, I mean, I got 20 seconds left.
Wait,
but I'm
that went
done.
from what, like 10 to 15?
Yeah, it was at 13. It was
Oh, it was.
expensive.
All right, I got you. Skydiv says, on a scale of 1 to 100, what are the chances Jacob Eason makes it on NFL field this year? You got the Black Prism 1 of 1. That man, he will always be following us.
Haunted.
All right, that is it for the giveaway, and that is it for Nate. He's done. He doesn't win, but honestly, valiant effort. The last one. Oh, dude, I was gonna pick that Pepe.
I'm
Wow,
going to pick the Pokemon, but I feel like I do that too much, so I want opposite.
you're close. I was.
It's
really
always
close.
Pokemon that end up getting real close. So many years of Pokemon cards, I don't get it.
There's a lot.
It's like always the same characters as well.
Is that the Polygon though?
What?
That's the Polygon. Porygon, actually, not Polygon. Polygon, Porygon, and then like Porygon Z or something like that.
And they both ended. Are you kidding me? Just need to last like one more round.
All right, good timing because I just got the random.org list pulled up.
Good choice. See if we can win this. We haven't won this in a while.
I've never won this, so there we go. Here we go, everyone. 3 times for the Rod Crew bat. Appreciate y'all joining. 1. That one is a very long name in there. The blind vegan that showed Nate up. 2. Oh, Silky Mitts on top. I'm gonna go with down in the farm. You know what? He's been giving us some good info recently. It's gonna reward him.
I'm gonna go with Rob Crocker, 22.
Ooh, Rob Crocker.
Rob's got it in the bag this week.
Jordan. This might be the first time he's ever won.
Hey, that 1.41 show got a little bit better with a casual little win.
There you go. Congrats, Jordan. Go ahead and shoot us an email, or I guess you can shoot me a message however you want to. Info@slabstox.com. You've been to like 60 plus of these episodes. Was this the first time you ever won, my guy? Jordan Riker interviewed here, first actual SlabStox Sundays guest of 2023 as well. Long-time caller, first-time winner, even had to go on an interview to get rewarded. Wow, that's
Love
crazy. Congrats on the career, brother. There you go. Scott says, congrats, Jordan. Best card in your PC now? That 100% is the best card in his PC.
Guaranteed.
All right, congrats, Jordan. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Another great episode tonight. I got a cool little hockey card for the PC. Got to talk about some sports as always. Always a good time. Nate, thanks for joining. And also shout out to Shane, Indie Card Collector. Make sure you'll follow him on Instagram. Great guy. You know, always willing to message, talk, answer questions. He's really, really a great source in the hobby. And 2-1 Kraken versus Colorado. So we got a game to get back to and watch. And I appreciate you all for joining. We'll see you all next week, Sunday. SlabStox Sundays, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time here on the SlabStox YouTube channel.
See you, everyone.